Welcome to Elite Expert Insider Podcast, where we will inspire, motivate, and educate entrepreneurs, innovators, and growth seekers. Brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, making the best and brightest in the industry #1 best-selling authors. 80% of people say they want to write a book. We're assuming that's the same for you. If so, contact us at www.eliteonlinepublishing.com and make your book a reality. Hi, it's Melanie Johnson, co-owner of Elite Online Publishing, along with my co-owner, Jen Foster. Hey, Jen.
Hey, everyone.
All right, today we are doing a podcast with the two of us because we've had a lot of people asking us this question: why should I write a book for my business? How do I get a return on my investment for the business? And how do I write a book for my business? So we're going to cover those three things, and we're going to do it pretty fast today. But first, remember, subscribe to our podcast. Hit that button below and subscribe to our podcast because we're always giving you great information. We love to hear from you. And remember, if you are looking to publish a book, contact us. Go to eliteonlinepublishing.com. There's tons of information there. And look us up and reach out to us. All right, so let's get started. Jen, let's talk about, I think we need to start with the reason why we think every single business should have a book. So what do you think those reasons are?
Yeah, well, I think one of the first ones really is to tell your story, to tell people where your business came from, as well as to have that call to action. You know, we have so many books that we've helped with the health industry that they answer all those frequently asked questions in the book, so that when you show up for your appointment, you're ready to sign on the line for whatever surgery or whatever thing you're doing, whatever health thing you're looking at, because there's so many questions and you answer the same questions over and over and over again. And if your client can read it in a book first and have all those questions answered, then they're ready to sign.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things that we keep saying over and over again, if you're looking for credibility in the marketplace, if you're looking to be an authority in the marketplace, then you need to have a book, because you get that instant credibility, instant authority, because you have a book. It just still is that way. It's like this traditional thing that's been going on. People are like, oh my gosh, you're an author? Really? So I think that's number one. And then another great reason is now all of a sudden you've got this book, you're going to get media attention. You have an excuse to reach out, have a press release for your company, do interviews about your book. Of course, if you work with us, you become a #1 best-selling author. So then they want to know how you got there. So you're going to get that media attention, become the authority. I think those are some of the really big reasons of why you should do it. And then, the other reason people say, well, do I get a return on my investment, right? So Jen, you love telling that story about the foot in the door that we call it.
Yeah. I mean, return on your investment when you have a book, we call it the foot in the door strategy, but really what it is when you have a book and you already have your ideal client, you've already written your book, and it usually has, the wording in there like you're talking to that ideal client. So when you send your book to the CEO of the company that you're looking to get, their business to make them your client, then they can read that book and you get your foot in the door. And if you mail it to them as a gift, Amazon's really awesome. We're a hybrid publisher, so we help people to put their books up on Amazon as a bestseller. And you can order your book right from Amazon and mark it as a gift. And then with that gift, they'll gift wrap it, but they'll also put in a little note. And in that note, you can say, hey, I really thought page 38 or chapter 17 or whatever you want to say will help your business, and it will help you in this way. And you put the benefit there. And then they're going to go to that chapter and read it. They're going to see, wow, they're going to see your bio. They're going to see everything right there in your book. And it's such a credibility piece that they're going to be ready to call you or take that action to get you in there to hire you or to use you.
Yeah, think about it, like you can't get into the CEO, you can't get a sales call, and then all of a sudden they have your book in their hands with a note with the exact paragraph, your elevator pitch, so to speak, that will benefit their business. Because the reason you want to get to them is because you're going to help them, right? Your business is helpful to them and you can help them make money or save money or provide a service. And another great way that we have found is, so let's say it's an office of about 50 people, you can send your book to the entire office. So think about it. Everyone in that office staff has your book with a personal note Do you think they're going to be talking about you that day? So people are like, isn't that expensive to do? Well, actually, no. A book will cost you anywhere from the, wholesale, you're going to buy it wholesale, be $2.50 to maybe $3.75. So think about having a whole office talking about you and getting your foot in the door and making an impact. I think that's really, really another great reason that you can get money back. That's how you get money back, is by getting clients. It's not necessarily in book sales. We say, hey, you're not going to get rich by selling a bunch of books. So the average amount of books that sell for an author is about 250 books. So maybe 1,000 books over its lifetime, depending. So think about it. Once you get your book and you make it number one, then forget about book sales. It's nice to have them. You can still have that on the list, but it needs to go further down in the bottom. What you really want to focus is, how do I leverage the book to get more clients in the door and close those clients? And that's where the money comes in. So we just talked to a client yesterday. Her average sale is $10,000 to $20,000 per corporate client. So think about that. If you get just 2 of those when your book first comes out, because of that, that's huge. So it makes a really big impact. Great. Yeah. The best advertising tool I've ever seen.
Right. And so the key to that is having that call to action in your book. So at the beginning or at the end of each chapter, however you want to do it, but making sure you have that call to action. So we actually launched a book for a girl in December, and she just let us know that she was on her group coaching call. She does group coaching, and she helps moms become their own entrepreneurs. And she was in a group coaching call, and they do introductions at the beginning. And she said what happened was, one of the girls said, oh, well, I found your book on Amazon, so I bought it. And then I joined your Facebook group, because she has a free Facebook group. And then in the Facebook group, you had the promotion for these group coaching calls and this coaching. So I decided to join. So that maybe she bought the book for $1 because we'd had a $1 promotion. Maybe she bought it for $15 if she bought the paperback. But that little investment that she made in her book now turned into, the group coaching was $1,000. So that's $1,000 sale that she made because she had a book. And just think of how many of those are going to happen. That only happened 3 weeks after she released her book. So think how many of those will happen this year.
Yeah, for sure. Right away within the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the next question we always get is, all right, it sounds good. I can see how my company needs a book. I can see how I get a return on the investment for my book. So how do I create a book? Like, oh my gosh, really? To write a book, especially if you're an owner of a company or an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, it's like, one more thing, you don't have that much time. So we're going to show you some quick ways of how to do that. So there's several ways we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about repurposing content, and we're calling something FBT that we're going to talk about that. So Jen's going to start with tips on how to repurpose your content to create a book out of it.
Yeah. So the first thing to think about when you're thinking about your content, where is your content you'll have already? You might have a website, you might have a blog, you might have articles you've submitted to different places. You might have notes you've taken, or you might already have started writing something. Now, if you don't already have that content to put together, it's easy to create. We use an app called Otter, OTTER.ai, for artificial intelligence. You can look that up on your desktop. It's a great, or an app, and it records you talking and transcribes it as you are talking. It's a wonderful app. So you can start creating that content if you don't have it. But if you go look at what the content you already have, you can collaborate all of that into a Google Doc or a Microsoft Word doc or wherever you want to put it, and start building up that manuscript and putting those pieces together.
Yeah, great ideas. I just talked to a client. They have 50 blog posts. So, you may have a collection of 50 blog posts sitting around, or even more, that can be curated into a book. Your newsletter, your sales material on flyers that you already have, or pamphlets or brochures that you have, can easily be used those.
Yeah. So I don't know if any of you have seen on Netflix a documentary called The Minimalist, but minimalism is a book that was written, I think, almost 5, maybe even 6 years ago. And what they did when they wrote that book is they just took their top blogs, the blogs that had the most comments, the blogs that mean the most to people, and they put them in a book. And I don't know if they got an editor or not, but at the beginning of the book, it states, these are our blog posts. So, right when you start reading the book, this is their blog post. So they have the blog post in there. And then what they did is they did a book tour, and they documented the whole thing. So you can go on Netflix now, and now it's a movie, and it's their whole book tour, and they've all done it by the content they already created.
Yeah, very cool. So you never know where your book's going to take you. I mean, here's a blog post that turned into a movie, and I think it was on Netflix. I mean,
Documentary.
crazy, right? So the next thing is features, benefits, and testimonials. So this is, we call the FBT. So think about all the features that your product or service has. And a lot of times we're geared to telling people the features, but not the benefits. So we want to make sure we couple that with the benefits. So I want you to make a list of all the features, like you're doing a sales call, right? So you have all the features, then write down all the benefits and the return on investments for the client. And then think about stories that go with that, testimonials of people who use that feature or that benefit that had great success that you can tell that story. So you want to kind of couple that with the reason why, why it's a benefit for them. And, if you're giving a sales pitch or in front of a client, you're going to talk about the benefit and the feature in depth. It's just not like you're going to list it. You're going to say, oh, this is the feature I have, double pane windows is what I have. And, oh, it'll save you energy. So no, you want to tell the story of that those windows save energy. This is the difference. We had a house that had all these old windows in it. Now we put new windows in, and this is what makes the difference. And this is why it's efficient, and this is why it's great. So you want to talk about all that. So that's another great way. You can list all the features, all the benefits, and stories that you can think of clients that go with that. So that's another great way, quick way to create content.
Love it. That's excellent.
So I think we covered it all. So it's why, let's just go over it real briefly. So why you should write a book: to become an expert, an authority in your field. It positions you in the marketplace. It gets you media attention. You can do strategies. We create strategies for all our clients depending on what their business is or their goals are. So we gave you the CEO strategy where you can order the book from Amazon and ship it to them, and they'll get it with a personal note from you with saying the page number that you want them to look at. You can send the book to an entire office. And then how to write the book is to repurpose content you already have. Do that first. Look at what you already have, repurpose it. You could probably get an editor to go through it and streamline it, but that's the quickest, easy, least expensive way. And then the other one is we call FBT, which is features, benefits, and testimonials. So think of all the features that your company or service is offering, the benefits of those, and then testimonials, transformational stories that happen because of those. So that's kind of the gist of it. And of course, if you're looking to become a bestseller, we would love to publish the book for you.
Yeah, so check us out on eliteonlinepublishing.com, and we have a survey you can fill out for an author submission if you'd like to be an author with us.
Yeah, and you can go to our Facebook page. We've got a lot of information on Elite Online Publishing's Facebook page. You can check us out at Twitter and Instagram as well.
Yeah, we actually have a free book you can get right on our Facebook page that has 50 questions. It's more of how to write your life story, or your story of accomplishment and success, I think is actually which one it is. But it is really good because it has all these, starter questions to kind of get you thinking and getting you answering those questions to start getting that content going.
Yeah, so we've published over 60 books, and all of them have been #1 bestsellers. And then Jen and I have our own label that we do low content books like journals and guest books. And we've published over 2,000 of those. So we know what we're doing. We've published over 2,000 books. So we've got that down pat, right? And then all of our authors that we bring on, we make bestsellers. So we're happy to have you join us and subscribe to our podcast, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
If you'd like to create the most powerful advertising tool for your business, contact us at eliteonlinepublishing.com, where we will help you create, publish, and make your book a #1 bestseller, and show you how to get new leads and more revenue for your business. If you'd like to check us out on our Facebook page, we have a free book for you as our gift. Just go and click free book. Remember to subscribe and leave a comment for our podcast. We would love to hear from you.